Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of us building our house. So yeah, it's a little different this time on episode 2. We have a lot of the R panel up on the outside of the house. We have the front door, the back door, all the exterior doors are installed. In addition to that, all of the windows are installed. They might have been all installed in episode 1, but I think we were still missing 1 or 2. Now the thing that I was probably the most excited about was seeing the roof panels go on because I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a house until you start seeing the roof get assembled. And with this kind of construction, the roof panels generally are getting installed after the outside of the house is done. And by outside of the house, I mean the walls. Now, one thing that I thought was kind of cool was they used these boom lifts or scissor lifts to raise themselves up inside of the metal frame to install the roof panels. I thought that was kind of a cool idea, so they don't have to spend all their time up on the roof actually installing them. They kind of stay next to it as they go and they lay the panels up there, you know, one after another. And as far as where the roof panels meet the eave, they have these really cool closure strips. They're kind of made of foam and they have a sticky backer on them so that it closes the shape of the R panel in really nice and neat so that you don't have water or air getting in there on the perimeter edge. Now, in addition to that, it does get a piece of metal trim, you could say, on the outside, kind of like a decorative finish, but it also closes that in. Now in our case, we decided to go with a color called burnished slate, which sort of has like a grayish, brownish hue to it. I thought that it would be a nice contrast to basically the entire house being white, but we did only do this on the rakes, which means on the horizontals or on the gables going up on the sides. We did not do it on the outside corners of the house. You can see this corner here behind me, we did it in a white finish just because I thought that it would look better. With the house being all white, I didn't want like a miscolored or opposite color corner there to just kind of add a bunch of unnecessary contrast. And one other thing to note as far as the install goes, when they install these panels with these little screws, they have little washers kind of built in, or little gaskets, soft gaskets that when they put the screw through the panel, it adheres really tight so you don't have water leaking in through there. And it is really nice to see the big patio door going in. This is the door that goes out onto our back porch. That's of course nice to see. And they also got everything roughed in for that dog door that we mentioned in episode 1 by High Tech Pet. Now they have the entire thing framed out and all flashed in so that all I have to do now is install that little pass-through frame so that Hank can go in and out. Now, one thing I didn't really mention in episode 1 was that this is on a septic system, which we had to install brand new. So there was no septic system here before. And that is actually back here and it's underground already. If you can tell, I don't know if it'll show well in the video, but this area of dirt has sort of sunk down. It's super, super dry. And then we get like 4 days of rain and that just sort of expands and contracts. So when we do the final grade, we've got these giant mounds of dirt all around. You see a giant mound of dirt. We'll fill that area in with all the dirt when we do our final grade and everything will look a lot smoother. And for the actual septic controller, we have it here and we just have a extension cord ran over to a dedicated plug that's in our workshop that's already here at the site. That's what's actually powering the septic system for now. It's not ideal, but working with Jeff Septic here locally, that's the name of the company if you live in this area, they recommended that we set it up this way so that since we don't have power to the structure yet, we can still run our septic with our RV so we can live here on the land while we're building. So what are our next steps? Well, the next step right now is going to be to get the framing consult done. Now, what I mean by consult with the framers is that I want to have the guys that are going to be doing the framing labor work come inside and look at what we've done already, mainly because there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You have the 8-inch I-beams here, and then we have the 6-inch C-purlins. So my original idea was to basically just build a 2x4 wall right in front of this wall, which would give us about an 11-inch wall cavity. We can have our insulation, have our wiring, our plumbing. That was sort of the idea on the original planning phase, but it's always a good idea to just have the guys that you're gonna be working with come to the house and do a consult with you to figure out what's the best way to actually do it. One other quick thing to note about the entry doors was that we had the guys doing the metal do the installation of the entry doors. So I checked everything to make sure it's plumb, it functions as it should, and that the doors open and close like they should. Those guys were also nice enough to install our hardware. That is not our finished hardware though. So another little quick tip would be, if you're doing a build like this, don't put your finished hardware on. And in fact, some people may say, don't even put your finished doors on. You may want to do like a temporary construction door. In our case, I felt comfortable enough installing these, and we're going to go ahead and put like some ram board or some protective paneling over the doors, so that way when we're on construction on the interior, we don't mess anything up. But yeah, progress overall is going, and we're excited to move into the next phase. There is a ton left to do out here, and over the next few weeks, we'll be releasing more videos about the process, and hopefully we can help you if you are going on the same journey, or maybe you're going to in the future, and you can come back to these videos and they'll be helpful in some way. But yeah, next step up is wood framing, then our MEP trades, which is HVAC, electrical, plumbing. Once all that stuff's done, we can move over to insulation. So again, whole long video series on this. As always, we appreciate any of the support. Please leave a comment, let us know if you have any questions, or reach out to us on social media, and I'll see you in the next video.